Okay, guys. So London elections, London Mayor.
Yeah.
Who you voting for?
I'm still ever so slightly torn. I'm relatively undecided. I'm going to leave it up to a bit of a spur of the moment decision, I think.
Okay.
It's the first time, actually, I was saying to Christian earlier, it's the first time I've voted in anything where I haven't been sure who I was going to vote for up until literally the very last second. I've been torn between all of the candidates recently. It's been kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
Christian?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of the same, really. Yeah. I was thinking Brian Paddock, maybe.
But he's got just.
But pretty
problems.
much, I was saying to you, wasn't I? That basically each candidate has got something, like a reason to vote for them, but every single one's got a reason not to vote for them.
Like a major reason not to vote for them,
so
which is why it's so difficult.
I mean, I liked Ken when he was independent, but ever since he's gone Labour, I find it hard to vote for him.
How so?
Well, I don't know. Well, I'm quite anti-government at the moment, quite anti-Brown, you know. Well, I have been really with Labour for a number of years. So, yeah, once Labour... Well, I mean, when he was independent, it made things interesting. A bit like the way Boris would make things interesting. You get the feeling that, you know, with him trying to do business with Gordon Brown...
It wouldn't be serious. It wouldn't be, you know, it wouldn't be...
No, that's the problem.
Politics. It would just be a novelty kind of thing.
What's it with Boris?
Yeah, Boris.
Yeah.
I
don't think he'd be a total disaster, because I think he'd clearly put people in positions to do things. But
this is how torn I've been, is that I was almost thinking of voting for Boris recently. That's just how crazy it's been.
There's a second vote as well, which makes
sense. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Right, well, we're going to have a quick chat with Charles now. Charles?
Hello.
Hello, how are you going to be voting today?
I'm going to be voting for Conservative, Boris Johnson.
And why on earth would you use something like that?
Personally, I haven't seen too many improvements in London within the last 2 times that Ken's been in, or is it 3 now, I forget. So I'll be looking for a new change. And personally, my dad, who lives just outside London, who doesn't get a vote, gets taxed a bit too much. So hopefully the change of candidate and the change of party will lead to less taxes for my dad's band.
Cool. So why Johnson over why Boris over one of the other non-Ken candidates?
I can't see any parties other than Conservative and Labour winning, and so I feel it was a bit of a wasted vote if I voted for, say, Lib Dem or the Green Party.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. So how are you going to vote today, Sugar?
I'm undecided until I get to the polling booth, but I have an inkling to vote for Brian Paddock for Mayor, and probably someone different for London Assembly, for the constituency, and for the London-wide candidacy.
Okay, why are you voting Paddock? Any ideas, or just a bit of a hunch?
Well, at the moment, I mean, probably my major driving force for voting Brian Paddock is the fact that he's the only candidate who seems to be really taking crime seriously, and that's probably one of the few things.
Yeah, well, he's an ex-policeman.
He is an ex-policeman after all, so I think that's a good reason to vote for him.
Okay, excellent. Cheers, Sugar. Okay, guys, off to go vote with my housemates in a second. There's Simon.
Hello.
Hey, right, I think, I haven't quite made my mind up yet, but I think I'm going to be voting Paddock today. Basically because I'm a bit of a lefty. I don't want Boris in. I don't want Boris in. I don't trust him to run a post office, let alone the the City of London. So I won't be voting Boris. Although I think Ken will be getting my secondary vote today. I like Ken. He's nice. I mean, to be fair, like the guy, he hasn't done. I mean, I've been living in London for 8 months or so now, and it's been pretty good. You know, a lot of people bitch and moan about the tube, but I think considering, you know, kind of the system that it is, you know, how complex it is, I think it runs pretty well, all things considered. But I think maybe it's time for a change. You know, give the little guy a chance. So I think I'll be voting Paddock today. All right, I'm off now. Bye.
Okay, I'm here today to vote in the London Mayor election. I'm quite excited about that. I'm at my local polling station in Chingford, East London. I'm going to be voting Ken Livingstone. I think he's done a good job with transport, and I think if he gets a bit more time, he'll be able to do a really, really good job. Okay, unfortunately, we're not allowed to film inside the polling station, so I'm just going to go in there and I'll come back and I'll tell you how it went. Okay, I voted now, so I guess we're just going to have to see what happens and who will be the next London Mayor.
Okay, so mayoral elections.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, probably predictable result. Throughout the whole day on Friday, everyone knew Boris had it. From what I know, people seem to be relatively pleased. And a sad day for Ken and Labour supporters, I suppose.
Yeah, so Boris in charge.
What do you think about that?
I'm a little bit concerned. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen. I'm not a big Boris supporter. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if he should be in charge. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I think he could do a lot to perhaps, I don't know, make politics a bit more accessible, which is never a bad thing. But I'm a little bit concerned that he can actually get the job done. I mean, hopefully he'll become something of a figurehead, and then he'll get people in to kind of to kind of run it for him. If he can put the right people in place,
Yeah.
then we might be all right.
Well, it seems like he's getting all his aides in, and he's got his team together and stuff, and it seems like him and David Cameron are going to be a good partnership.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Interesting result for Labour, though. I mean, across the country, not just in London.
Well, yeah. I mean, 24% of the vote. They've lost 331 seats. So, I mean, I think it's a good thing in a way, because even though probably I'm a Labour supporter, I think it's nice to have a bit of balance of power again, because Labour have been so powerful for like the last 11 years, and now I think a little bit of that balance has been restored. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Also interesting spring for the Lib Dems as well. I mean, they've clawed their way back quite a bit. I mean, I'm not sure the exact figures, but I mean they were running pretty close to.
But they've got 34 now.
Yeah, they're running pretty close to kind of Labour's figure, which is it's quite an impressive swing,
it's
really.
Fantastic. I think the most surprising result of the day was the BNP London Assembly seat.
Yeah.
They've now gained a seat. So, and it was actually the mayoral candidate, wasn't it? Can't remember his name now.
Barnbrook, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and he's barking and Dagenham.
He's
so there's
barking.
a seat. He's barking mad. So there's a seat for the BNP now, London Assembly.
Yeah, not overly happy with that myself.
Not at all. It's quite. I think it's just very, very surprising. I'm not sure.
I personally, I find it quite frightening that they can get any kind of legitimacy. You know, it's not cool.
No, it's very. I think it's very interesting actually, and how the British public have voted, and and as Labour said themselves, they've got a lot of learning, catching up to do, and Brown himself has said he takes full responsibility for the results.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens now.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how long he's still in a job.
Well, I guess next year will tell.